For over a century, the legendary stories surrounding Britain's great airfields have fired the imaginations of countless people, including me. These historic sites have witnessed the evolution of aircraft from frail wood and fabric contraptions into sophisticated high-tech flying machines. Their tales are intertwined with national defense, pioneering innovation, and cultural heritage. Today, I'm on a personal quest to traverse the UK, visiting some of our most significant airfields. I aim to understand not only their remarkable contributions to our past, but also how many have helped shape our future. From the first powered flight on British soil to groundbreaking technologies like carbon fibre composites and the invention of the jet engine, our airfields stand as silent witnesses to monumental changes in aviation. They're also guardians of extraordinary human stories, from wartime heroics to peacetime resilience, all lovingly preserved by dedicated organizations. Join me as I explore the story of the airfields that have influenced Britain and, indeed, the world. When most people consider military aviation, they tend to think first of the Royal Air Force, its Spitfires, its Hurricanes, the Battle of Britain, and the mighty bombers of World War II. Yet for over a century, 10 full years before anyone imagined the RAF, another formidable service branch has quietly but decisively shaped the course of military flight. That branch is the Royal Navy's aviation arm, today known as the Fleet Air Arm. Their contributions run deep, influencing every major conflict and extending the Royal Navy's protective reach far beyond the coastline. From the earliest seaplane carriers and trial autogyros to modern stealth jets and multi-role helicopters, naval aviation has always been at the cutting edge. One place embodies this storied legacy: Royal Naval Air Station Yeovilton in Somerset. Operational since 1940 and commissioned as HMS Heron, this station is both the spiritual and organizational home of the Fleet Air Arm. Over 100 aircraft are based here at any given time, ready to deploy globally at a moment's notice. The pace is relentless. Yeovilton's runways echo with the thunder of engines from training flights, operational exercises, and test sorties. It's among the UK's busiest military airfields, a crucial node in the network that connects British aviation to the wider world. Yet Yeovilton is more than just a hive of contemporary activity. It also guards Europe's largest and most comprehensive naval aviation collection. Step into its spacious hangars and you're surrounded by legends of the past. The Harrier jump jets, the Sea Vixens, the mighty Wessex helicopters, and the venerable Fairey Swordfish biplane. Some exhibits remain exactly as they came back from service, complete with the sand still clinging to their cockpit floors or the scuffs and scratches left by ground crew boots. This approach reflects a modern philosophy in curating historical aircraft, preserving not only their technological and operational history, but also the human stories etched into their metal skins. Henry, one of the expert curators, explains Yeovilton's origins. In 1938, Westland Aircraft's chief test pilot sought a suitable field for test flights, unaware that the Admiralty had already earmarked the land. By June 1940, RNAS Yeovilton emerged as HMS Heron. From this once simple farmland, the Fleet Air Arm grew in strength, training generations of naval aviators. Early on, the concept of naval aviation was scarcely understood. The Fleet Air Arm had to define it from scratch, evolving from rudimentary seaplanes and simple carriers to sophisticated strike jets and complex maritime helicopters. Their role in modern warfare, humanitarian missions, and strategic deterrence is fundamental. Naval aviation, as Henry points out, is woven into almost every Royal Navy operation today. One of the Fleet Air Arm's most iconic aircraft, and arguably one of Britain's finest creations, is the Harrier. Its vertical takeoff and landing capability made it a game-changer. Henry himself flew Harriers operationally, experiencing their extraordinary versatility, carrying out high-intensity operations, sometimes ejecting at treetop level to survive an unforeseen malfunction. He also had the rare distinction of delivering the very last operational Harrier back into a naval air station. The Harrier's retirement heralded a new chapter in naval aviation. As one era ends, another begins with advanced helicopters like the Merlin and short takeoff jets like the F-35B Lightning II, destined to fly from the Royal Navy's new aircraft carriers. Today's Royal Navy might number around 30,000 personnel, just a fraction of its wartime strength, but its responsibilities remain vast. Before and during World War II, Britain depended on maritime trade routes to survive. The Royal Navy had to protect convoys crossing the Atlantic from U-boat attacks, air cover from long-range patrol bombers and shipborne biplanes like the Fairey Swordfish was essential. The Swordfish, affectionately nicknamed the string bag for its adaptability, flew off small escort carriers and merchant aircraft carriers, MAC ships, to deter and disrupt the dreaded U-boats. Though obsolete-looking and slow, the Swordfish performed heroically in conditions that tested both machine and crew to their limits. Back at Yeovilton, the Royal Navy Historic Flight proudly maintains 3 Swordfish. Only 2 remain airworthy worldwide. Seeing these fragile biplanes still taking to the skies is a humbling reminder that victory in wars past often hinged on resourcefulness and courage rather than raw technological superiority. The Swordfish epitomizes that spirit, noisy, drafty and slow, yet vital in defending Allied shipping and contributing to the final defeat of Nazi Germany's submarine menace. Naval aviation history also includes the introduction of helicopters. The Royal Navy recognized early on that rotorcraft could transform its capabilities, rescuing downed pilots, delivering supplies, and expanding surveillance reach. Helicopters eventually took on anti-submarine roles, attacked enemy surface ships, transported troops, and even played key parts in humanitarian relief efforts worldwide. Over the decades, the Fleet Air Arm flew legendary types like the Westland Whirlwind, Wessex and Sea King. Each generation pushed the boundaries, culminating in today's high-tech Merlin and Wildcat fleets. These modern helicopters boast advanced avionics, digital flight decks, and modular design to handle multiple roles, from anti-submarine warfare to anti-piracy missions off the Horn of Africa, from drug interdiction in the Caribbean to disaster relief in Southeast Asia. If helicopters are the Navy's eyes and hands, then aircraft carriers are its mobile fortresses. The Royal Navy pioneered the aircraft carrier concept and demonstrated its potential dramatically during WY, most notably in the 1940 Battle of Taranto, where torpedo bombers from HMS Illustrious crippled the Italian fleet. Fast forward decades to the 1982 Falklands conflict. Harriers operating from small carriers defended the task force and ensured victory. Now, the Navy is building 2 new giants, HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales. These carriers, the largest and most sophisticated in British history, will host next-generation jets and helicopters, redefining naval and national power projection for half a century. HMS Queen Elizabeth, at 283 meters long and 73 meters wide, looms as a colossal floating airfield. She'll carry up to 50 aircraft and a crew of 1,600. Her power output could run an entire town. Standing atop her ski jump ramp, a British innovation, one realizes that this warship extends Britain's strategic reach across the globe. Scheduled to be fully operational by 2020, she and her sister Prince of Wales will serve as the cornerstone of naval operations for decades to come. Meanwhile, the Fleet Air Arm's newest helicopter, the Wildcat, has arrived. Sleek and sophisticated, the Wildcat builds on the Lynx's legacy, offering enhanced sensors, more powerful engines, and versatile mission profiles. Its digital cockpit and advanced radar optical systems represent a quantum leap, making it a prime asset aboard frigates and destroyers, capable of detecting threats far beyond the horizon. As I reflect on the Royal Navy's aviation heritage, I'm struck by the continuity and evolution. From World War I seaplanes to modern stealth jets and tilt rotors yet to come, naval aviation has shaped warfare, diplomacy, humanitarian efforts, and our global maritime presence. The quiet fields of Somerset, once just farmland, have become gateways to a worldwide stage where British aircraft and crews stand guard over oceans, deliver aid, and support allies. In the grand tapestry of military flight, the RAF may claim the limelight with Spitfires and Lancasters, but the Royal Navy's Fleet Air Arm has its own splendid chapter. Its aircraft and airfields have influenced how we fight, how we save lives, and how we envision power projection at sea. From the gently decaying wings of early biplanes to the shining composite structures of modern jets, these stories converge here in places like Yeovilton, places where the past meets the future, and where Britain's legacy of naval aviation endures, shaping not just our nation, but the world beyond.